Well, hello, everybody. My name is Alex. I am with TradePending. I wanted to mention first, thank you for coming to our TikTok webinar. Today, we have Marc Lavoie, who's currently sharing his screen. Marc, do you have the correct screen up there? Yeah, I
Yeah.
think so. All right. Yeah.
There you
Yes. All right. Wonderful.
go.
So again, my name is Alex. I'm the design and marketing manager for TradePending. And again, Marc is the founder of Autobahn Digital. He's been gracious enough to talk to us about the future of digital marketing, specifically in the TikTok platform. As we know, the digital edge is bleeding ever so much in the automotive industry, and getting that little bit of leverage and a little bit of edge on your competition helps. And especially with the next generation coming up and becoming first-time car buyers and whatnot, it's great to meet your customers where they're at. And this seems to be one of the platforms, one of the most popular platforms for them to use and utilize. And we're just going to listen to Marc a little bit about that. So Marc, why don't you go ahead and hit the next slide for me?
Yeah. Do you mind if I just put that here? All good? Awesome. There you
Yeah.
go.
So obviously we're recording this webinar and we will have the ability to ask questions later on if you have any specific questions. But if we run out of time or don't get to it, please send us the questions anyways. We'll go ahead and respond to you in an email or the follow-up email tomorrow where the webinar recording will be living. Feel free to go ahead, Marc. Next slide. As always, we will be sending out this webinar with a PDF version of it, so you can actually follow us on social media, but also check out this slide deck, and you can find cool things like the inventory sourcing checklist, where we have 50 different or over 50 ways of checking out inventory sourcing. Obviously, that's still a pain point with a lot of our automotive friends in the industry right now, but also because we got tons of swag and raffles, and they're coming up all the time. So if you like our wobbly birds or really comfy t-shirts, follow us on social and you'll be able to get into those fun raffles. Marc, please.
There you
All right. So Marc, so really first off, let's talk a little bit about just generally TikTok, people that might not know what TikTok is and what gives TikTok itself kind of their benefit over other platforms.
Yeah. Well, first of all, I want to thank you and TradePending for inviting me for this webinar. I've been having a lot of conversation around TikTok with my clients, car dealers, automotive clients, and I think now is the moment to seize the opportunity, because I see it's getting harder and harder to grow on TikTok, like in the car space, because as competition grows, it's going to be more saturated, just like we're seeing on Instagram, Facebook, where the boat is sail, if that makes sense. And I'm excited to talk to you guys about this today. And hopefully I can share a little bit about how to use TikTok, what it is today, like what's the current state of this platform. Is it social media? Is it entertainment? We'll dive deeper into all of this during this webinar. So thanks again for having me.
Our pleasure. We love having you. And obviously, when we're looking to help our automotive clients out, we want to make sure that we're giving them the most fresh and up-to-date information possible. So again, thank you for coming on.
Yeah. And, do you want me to jump into for the next slide? I can,
Yeah, let's go. Let's go for it. Right
Perfect.
on.
So just before we start this webinar, I just wanted to tell you a little bit more about my story. So I sold my first car back in 2007. It was a red Volkswagen Beetle, and it was a wonderful experience I had to have. I then went to Autobahn, to Northwood University in Florida, and completed my studies. I worked for GM, Audi of America, and two major ad agencies and SaaS company in the automotive space, where I got to learn a ton. I also had the opportunity to to have people trust me somehow with managing millions of dollars in ad spend. And obviously, with that amount of money, you can test and learn a ton. I placed advertising for car makers like Ford, Nissan, General Motors, BMW, Honda, and some others as well.
Yeah, I think I've heard of
a
couple of those car brands there. Yeah.
Yeah, well, they're not so much implemented in North America, but it's getting there, and and it's I working with dealers, working with automotive clients, such as car makers, I just saw that sometimes marketing and digital marketing is not always well understood, right? We take actions just because we have to be there, but there's a science to it. So I decided to create a platform where like automotive dealerships can go and learn state of the art, or you know, really really amazing digital marketing strategies and tactics they can apply to their store, because in the end all dealerships have different realities, geo types of buyers, brands, all that
Oh,
kind of
cool.
stuff. So
I just have to ask
I
for
just
myself. So Autobahn, have you driven on the Autobahn? Was it, part of that
no,
coming up with the name, just speed
not even.
and
I know. No, I guess like if you want to go for a tacky analogy, said like if you're good, you can drive in the fast lane and like overtake the competition. But like I said the other day, I didn't get like the perfect answer for this. But I'm a big fan of I'm a big car nut since I was three. Always been in the auto industry. As much as I'm trying to get out of it, it just always pulls me back. So I guess figured I would stop fighting, and I
I
think
can tell
that's
you're a
that's
car
the
nut.
case for a lot of.
You're sitting there in an Audi R8. I mean, that's definitely an
Yeah.
Autobahn worthy vehicle. So right on.
Yeah, I know. That's when I was working with Audi USA. I
Mhm.
had a chance to travel the United States with the best Audi cars at that time, so it was a lot of fun. That's me here at the Palm Beach Auto Show. I was one of the captains, um, and that was me selling cars and doing events for General Motors for some time.
Oh
So
yeah. So
I
long history being in automotive.
yeah, I love the industry. It's so wide, it's so unique, and I just think it marries really well with my obsession about digital marketing. And
Mhm.
in the end, I see automotive as high ticket ecom, whereas we buy stuff at for hundreds of dollars on Amazon and everything else. But
All right.
we're now more and more buying cars online, and we have to get good at this. So hopefully, we can talk about how TikTok can
Yeah. How does
basically help
TikTok
us
play
do
into
that.
that industry?
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna share a few slides in the future, but for me, I auto quoted myself here, but I really think it's a cheat code in the auto industry right now, because just the amount of reach you can have right now, especially with with new used cars, finance, the way you can interact with people, it is unmatched right now. It's not something that's happening on like any other media right now. It's not happening on YouTube. It's not happening on Google, Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, and the others, right? And especially not traditional like radio, newspapers, or TV. So I'd like to see with you guys, what is TikTok? What can it bring to dealerships? Because that's the whole question. So how can this help me and my business get ahead? It's all fun and games trying to see like play on social media, but in the end, you want to do this to generate more sales. So I want to make sure you know which common mistakes you can avoid. I've been browsing this app for some time now. I don't call it coaching because it's not one way. It's just trying to I get with a group of people that are using TikTok, sharing best practices, and say, what failed this week, what failed this month, and what had like really good success. And we're like, learning as a group. And I think it's pretty cool because it's not always about advertising and putting dollars. TikTok is giving us an opportunity to grow organically. Whereas, most media right now, like especially with Facebook, I'll do a lot of comparisons, but just make sure you understand. Like Facebook, when you're sharing with your organic posts or your friends as car dealers, you're most likely reaching tops 10% of your like base. So if you got 20,000 likes on your page, you'll reach 2,000 people. TikTok is the opposite. You might have 2,000 followers, you might reach 150,000 people. So it's a great opportunity. Just a quick overview if you're not familiar with the app. It's really different. It's really and like for me, it's entertainment versus social. It's not about how much you interact with others, like your friend, the friends of yours, but mostly with anyone or any like everyone at any given point in time. It's been a challenge for car dealerships because we're used to advertise with our products, but with short form video content, it's creator specific. It's built around the people and not so much about the product. So you got to learn how to do this as well. So let me just jump in and give you a rough understanding on how important is TikTok before we get, we jumped in more details on how you can apply it to your store. So I think if there's any stat that makes sense, TikTok has reached 1 billion users 4 times faster than Facebook. So if that doesn't ring any bell in your head, or how much you got to jump on this one, it's just crazy because it's just gone viral, and it's not only with teens. The the demography is really, really changing over time, and this is why it's more important than ever that you, as car dealerships, jump on this app right now, like yesterday, if you ask me. But
131 million US based users. That is so many. Wow.
yeah, and what's happening, because I have the chance to have some friends with they got teens as kids or preteens, so 10, 12, 14 years olds. And these guys, they started using the platform, and parents are picking up the habit. Instead of being like, oh no, so don't be on TikTok, they create an account as well, and they are on TikTok now too. So I just thought I wanted to share this because that's what I hear most when I talk about TikTok. It's only
for the
for
kids,
teens,
right? Yeah.
for the kids, but kids grow older, and they influence their parents too. But let me share that with you. Okay. So take a moment to, to read that data as I catch my breath a little bit, So nearly 1/3 of Americans right now are logging into TikTok, and 67% of them are older than 20-year-old. So these are all potential car buyers, people with money. If you really go for the 30 to 50, which is a good chunk of people with some buying power, it's still 25 to 30%, depending on where you stop, 25 to 45. So that, and the 30 plus demography is really the one that's picking up speed right now. It has the most growth within all the age groups you see here, 30 to 39. And these are the people with money, cars, needs,
You
So
said
this is
something
why.
that rings true, is that children do tend to influence their parents. It
Mhm.
might not be hey, I saw this guy on TikTok and he wants you to buy this specific vehicle, but maybe it's just a better general feeling about a specific OEM or something like that. Something that, that new specific OEM, oh yeah, I've heard about that. And just that table kind of discussion really brings people, a company more top of mind. So I think that's kind of instrumental. And you made another very valid point. These people are getting older, so some of them start driving. So when you get, maybe a brand new car isn't your first vehicle, but you start to build some sort of brand loyalty from your first vehicle. So that can continue on through the ages,
Yep.
and that could be like a lifetime of loyalty there.
Yeah, of course. And remember, at some point we said the same thing about Facebook, back in 2005, 2006, 07. Facebook was for college students, but we all know the story here. And this thing is growing 4 times faster, and they got a precedent as well. They were basing everything they were doing on what Facebook did, and they're not replicating the same mistakes, and they're doing the same wins. People managing this company and the app itself are really, really smart, making great decisions in terms of marketing, because obviously they want to monetize the thing, right? So I wanted to draw just quick slide on how to compare with those two, like Facebook and Instagram. I like to compare the two because when we think about social media, these are the two we're using the most in automotive. Although I still see some car dealers skipping on those two, Facebook and Instagram, which is a mistake, I think. But like at this point, might as well jump on TikTok if you're not doing anything. I think, it's like the key differences. It's centered around video. It's a much simpler app as well. It's like the star of TikTok is the creator. Some 20-year-olds are having like 80 million, 100 millions of followers, not because they pushed a brand, but they pushed they push themselves at an individual. So they, like, people just tend to connect with people. So this is the main challenge for car dealerships. The old tricks, talking about like promos, the cars itself, it's not cutting it. Like every time I see a post from a car dealership that's talking about a specific car or promotion, it always gets like no regional likes aside of everyone working in the dealership. And I think it's sad because it's just a lost opportunity to draw attention to our business in a way where this asset lives more than one day. Whereas if you post on Facebook and Instagram, your post is done tomorrow. On TikTok, your video could keep going for like 2-3 weeks, depending on the reactions. And this piece of content, you can reuse it. When following up with customers, email sequences, like opportunities are really, really deep when you're doing that. So
I think an important point with this is that you're right. It's an easier app, but it's video creation that you could, share out to other platforms as well. So you don't have to just say, oh, this is a Facebook video, it only needs to live on Facebook. No, your TikTok videos can go onto Facebook, they can go onto Instagram, they can go onto LinkedIn as well. So don't think of it just as like silos, right? This can all work together.
That's a great point, because it could be like the start, like the foundation of one video, because the app is so intuitive and easy to use when creating a video. But these videos, you can push them exactly to Instagram Reels, Facebook Reels now, YouTube Shorts if you want. And it's pretty impressive. There are some tools you can like totally automate the thing. So it gives you thousands and potentially hundred thousands of views, every day or every week. It's like, it's something we never had before. And I'm just under the impression it's not gonna last. At some point, brands are gonna jump in so hard that it's gonna turn into Facebook in a couple of years with just like 40%, 50% ads, and then the rest is gonna be organic, but it's gonna shrink the potential we're gonna have as local businesses. One thing I want to mention before I jump to the algorithm, like the way TikTok is so satisfying, it's so good as an app. If you've been using it, it's molding itself to what you like and what you feel. So, it's really public knowledge, but aside of being a social graph app, which is sharing with you everything that your friends are doing, like Facebook, TikTok is sharing videos with you based on your interests. Let me explain. So the algorithm, like the TikTok algorithm, is much more complex than the Facebook one. It just listens or watches you as you browse the app. It's super powerful. It's a little bit scary, but it's also super powerful. And it takes many factors in consideration, including past video interactions, watch time, hashtags, and even facial recognition. So TikTok knows if you're laughing at something. And I've been doing the test, and you can try it too. You can start watching videos on a specific subject and watch your feed or your For You page change towards those kind of videos. So let's say for me, I speak French and English, so I'll watch both languages. But when I start watching a couple videos in French, my feed is gonna turn 100% French. And if you watch, I don't know, like motorcycle videos, your feeds turning into motorcycle feed video. It's crazy. You can do it in real time. Try it. It's quite funny, and you can do it. So this is why it gets so addicting, and why people just browse the app like over 45 minutes on average every day. The ones that log in every day is 45 minutes plus. So it's really, really powerful. And that's all good and all, but is there anyone that's consuming content around cars? If that's something you're wondering, I was just searching for everything that's related to cars, trucks, SUVs content, and I could find. I admit I stopped. It was probably more than this, but 130 billion combined views on these hashtags alone. Keep in mind, the hashtags only includes the video that use the hashtags, so there's more. Just people are just posting stuff without hashtags too. So I just thought, with tens of millions of views in automotive every day, I think it makes sense for us to at least try.
So utilizing hashtags, especially, this is a good list of them. Do you really find that really does help grow your organic growth even more, just like that cross-pollination using hashtags? Like, how pivotal is it for you to really get on a good hashtag and try and own that space? Or is there such a thing as like owning a hashtag? Or please.
Owning an hashtag, except yours, because you're the only one posting, I think it's irrelevant. It's like at some point you got to choose. You can read different things about how to use hashtags. I think it's good to test, but what I've been focusing on with like a specific group of people, like car salespeople, is that we've been like focusing on local hashtags versus, like, let's say it's cool to say, I got the car hashtag, but it's too generic. It's too general. It's like buying the keyword on Google, cars for sale. So okay, but you got to be a little bit more specific if you want results. If you
We have a
Yeah,
question from Justin Fell, who's a digital marketing manager. He was
Yeah.
asking, is copying and pasting hashtags from successful posts like a smart move for future posts to get like similar kind of engagement?
Yeah, but it's not a guarantee you will perform as good as the other video. If that makes sense. There's more than hashtags. It's not like hashtags on TikTok is not the act, because always keep in mind that TikTok is the whole algorithm is gonna read your transcript and push your video as such. So you can try to push it for people following some hashtags, because you can follow hashtags. But like some people want to make it the end game, whereas it's a cool thing to have like 2 or 3 hashtags, but don't bank on only this to drive a video. Let's say you see a video that has like 400K views. I'm gonna copy and paste. I'm expecting 400K. Maybe I'm guessing it's not your point, but I just want to make it like a super crazy example. It's not only about hashtag. It's got to be about the hook, the content, what you're saying, early engagement, all that kind of stuff. Like,
Yeah, I guess
using the algorithm like
really wins, right? I mean, that's what TikTok's known for, is that very strong and listening algorithm of all the things that you mentioned earlier, topics, how much time you spend on it, whatnot. So the hashtag really just like a mere suggestion going back and forth, not really the driving point.
If you want to go for something that has more weight, like at least what I've been seeing, testing, and understanding, is the watch time. So let's say your video is 20 seconds. The most people, like the higher percentage of people that are gonna watch 25%, 50%, 75%, or to completion, is gonna tell TikTok, you know what, this video is good, people are enjoying it, and you should push it a little bit more. Because sometimes you'll see just like videos, 7-second videos, with text, but it takes you 10 seconds to read it. But TikTok will actually take in consideration if people are replaying your video over and over. And if you are, it increases I don't know how to call it, like inside, but it increased the video score, and it's similar to what YouTube has been doing for years. Like if people are dropping off after 1% versus 50%.
I have a quick question.
Yeah.
Actually, Zach has a quick question he put forth. Do you know if TikTok has realized like if some certain dealerships are consistently posting and there might be like some sort of like shadow banning that goes on? Is that something that you have noticed with TikTok at all?
No, but there's there's something about shadow bans on, like, yes, I know I know TikTok will limit your reach as much as, like, by the way, the other social media will do the same.
Mhm.
If you're mentioning specific keywords or trying to push some information, I know for a fact that if you're, it's not only me, it's documented. It's just if you push, let's say, I don't know, like, uh, click on a website or click on our my link in bio, people don't like it. But not people don't like it. The app doesn't like it because
Mhm.
TikTok wants to keep you inside of TikTok,
Really
not
quickly,
send
I
you
did just want
away.
to mention, we do realize that it's 2:28, but this is such an incredible and interesting topic. So we'll continue going on, and of course we'll have this recording sent out to everybody who's registered for this tomorrow. But if you need to hop off, we totally understand. This is such an interesting topic that we wanted to make sure we hit all these and answered all these questions.
Yeah, yeah. like like I told you, like, yeah, doing 30 minutes is just super short. There's so much to, like, things to learn about this. It's important too. So yeah. By the way, thank you for your question, Justin and Zach. Like, it's not about shadow banning. It's just like limiting some video reach. I know they're doing this if you're reposting the same video. Sorry about that. And I, there's, and sometimes they'll test your videos with maybe 100 people, 100 views, and if it doesn't get any engagement, they're just like, your video dies just like that. Like, it's pretty brutal. And this is why I'm saying it used to be easier, it's harder now, it's only gonna get harder. That's what I've been seeing. So um quick question. So can you advertise on it? Let's say you want to do organic, but can you do ads? So the answer, is yes. And it has an ad manager, pretty much like Facebook. Honestly, I think they opened like Facebook's ad manager and they copy the whole thing. It's pretty much the same thing, like in terms of geo targeting, how you want to do things. The only real difference is the format of the ad itself. It's got to be video versus potentially images, carousels, messenger ads. It's only, right now at least, it's, you're pushing a video, and you can either create a video that's specific to ads so it doesn't appear on your feed, or you can use what they call Spark ads, which is, let's say you got a video that's responding really well, lots of engagement, and you feel like it could be an ad of itself. You can use Spark to push this ad as well. Give you an example. So normal examples of TikTok. I wanted to take a few examples that are related to how-tos and education, because hashtags around learning something on TikTok have more than 15 billion views so far. And if you look up learn talk, like hashtag learn talk, it's really a thing. You can just follow some really, really smart people sharing life advice, business advice, car buying tips too, with lots of views. Like, car buying tips have like hundreds and some have millions of views. So people are, like, car buyers are engaging with TikTok to gather this information. And just to give you a heads up from Google itself, like the Gen Z right now, which is the earlier generation, might be not in the market yet. But these people, right, like this group of people now are looking into TikTok when searching something versus Google. Like, they're using TikTok more than Google right now. Just to give you an example. And it should show you like what kind of trend is going on right now. So I see there's a few questions. I don't know if that's the right comments. Okay. So I wanted to take a few examples about OEMs attacking TikTok. So pretty much all car makers are advertising right now. And I wanted to, as car makers are making some noise, you really want to be there as selling points, or at like at your for your local dealership to be there to gather up these car buyers, right? So few examples of automotive TikTok for car dealerships. I just went ahead and basically searched, and I was able to find like a couple examples really quick. So people will engage with their users, providing choices. So would you buy this one or this one? Can you guess this car? Showing like the behind the curtain what's going on at the dealership. So if there's a new vehicle here, you can basically have a presentation, like a walk around. Let's say in this case, that was a 2022 Grand Cherokee L. When I took this picture, it was pretty like it just hit the lots. And then people will interact here. You don't see it so much, but that's important. People ask questions on TikTok and you can answer with video, which is the number one hack, if you ask me. Because instead of just dropping a comment, you create a video with the name of that person and this question. It's a major dopamine boost for the people asking the question. People actually like engaging with the creators and saying like, thank you. People are really, really happy with this. And it creates a new video that goes on your feed. And that question might be asked by one person, but maybe 100 people will have the same question. And you're answering all these people as well. Maybe it's something you just being in a business, it's given for you. But for the average car buyer, it maybe not, And here I wanted to take an example about how like offers, because I'd still push offers if I was like selling cars on TikTok, but mainly one every 10 videos, perhaps, just for a specific unit, like a deal, something, and try to watch the engagement. If you turn your feed into like a promo feed, it's not working out. No, I've seen some examples of this, and it's like engagement rate, you see it right away. So far so good.
Yeah, fantastic examples.
Before we jump to the next example, because I want to get more specific, I want you to, I don't know, like take a pen and paper, take a note, like screenshot it. I don't care. Just always keep that in mind. If you want to do lead gen on TikTok or any social media, organic or paid, you want to educate your prospect. You want to engage with comments, like answer comments, provide more value. And this is how you position yourself as the expert. It just works. And it works even better in the auto industry because people, let's be honest, they hate us and they don't trust car salespeople. So when you shift the script and flip the script and you're being upfront and try to educate your people like car buyers will be drawn to you. I can only tell you this because a few of my clients have been applying this specific, like super simple strategy. It's not because it's magical or complicated, just doing the thing. You should see how people are coming in. It's crazy. They're coming in instead of being all defensive. They're like, what do I need? How much does it cost? I'm gonna sign it here. It's crazy. I've been hearing stories. It's like people are total laydowns. Excuse the term, but you know what I mean. So examples of lead gen activities. Oh, I forgot one here. Okay, all good. So I wanted to see how you can actually do lead generation for trade-ins. Right now, if you're not aware, the trend on sell my car in Google has multiplied by 10 versus 3 months ago. So people are looking to sell a car like right now before, if a market crash happens, whatever, right? So this is the time to attack this. And I know TradePending is doing a great job. I was like, the only reason I jumped on this call was because I saw the tool and I saw how great it was, honestly. So if you want to drive traffic to your website or to your page, these are like a few examples or ideas you could use to create content around. So like there was a question: should I trade my car if it was next frame, but if my transmission went out, if my tires are like done, when is the right time to trade in the car? How do you go about trading a car? How to get the most money to get like to get your trade at the dealership? You want to be the person like attacking the problem and answering the question, especially if you got shady people around you in your market who are using like weird tactics to pull people in. You want to engage and educate your customers so they don't get caught and they build trust with you instead. Can you trade in a car with like, yeah, no transmission, behind the scenes at a dealership when appraising a car? So people are, looking forward to this. I can see here, but I think it's thousands of views, thousands of likes too. You just show how you appraise cars, right? And this is amazing media when you're about to follow up with customers, just to explain how you do things.
Not only that, it gives you a better conversation from the get-go, having an educated
Oh yeah,
customer. That way it's like
oh
not
yeah,
as combative from the get-go. That's fantastic. That's a great
yeah,
idea.
exactly. Think about it. Like, here's how I think about it. Let's say, because I'm doing a little bit of content on my end, mostly YouTube, but and TikTok is not even fair if you're business to consumer, because the volume, the addressable market is much larger. But think about it this way: if you're doing these kinds of videos, educating your customers, local buyers, you're pitching your services and business to thousands of people every day. There's no sales team on earth that can do that. But with social media, you can do it. So just think about the reach and like how evergreen it can be for you. So good news. What I like is that you can position your business locally, because that's the challenge for car dealers. It's pretty cool to have, let's say you're in Florida and people are engaging in Seattle. It's nice. It's nice for vanity metrics, but you won't have much business, right? That's the whole thing. But TikTok is attacking this more and more because you can, one, already use local hashtags, and also they're testing a nearby feed. So hopefully pretty soon we're going to have a nearby. So everything that's nearby, every TikTok that has been created near you.
That's going to be
So
groundbreaking for the car dealers. Absolutely. Yeah.
It's going to be groundbreaking for car dealers, restaurants, all
Yeah.
local businesses that do business within 20 miles from them. Most of it at least. So I would just not wait until it gets done. I would just, if I was in a dealership right now, I would grow my following right now, like yesterday, like I said. So I took this example because I used to work with a guy. His name is Alex. He used to be at Autoplex Custom, and then he helped grow this TikTok account. This, what you see here, is 1.9 million followers. Autoplex is basically a lifted truck store, as you can see. It's cool because these are cool trucks. People like it. You'll get tons of engagement, but at the same time, I know like 90% of his business was coming through those social media posts, and this was from everywhere. So if you have something specific or special that you're doing in your store, it's a great way. It's a great competitive advantage if you're doing something like that on TikTok. Like in their case, I wanted to take this example because they were doing a joint TikTok effort. Okay, so a lot of people were posting on the same account. Okay, so you can have like five people team logged in on TikTok and post on the social media account, and this will grow collectively your reach and reduce the amount of effort to reach thousands and tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands of people. So I want you to think about this when you're just starting out on TikTok. So is there any question right now, or we keep them until the end?
Let's keep them till the end. Let's keep
Okay,
pushing forward.
perfect. Okay, just real quick here. I know it's been like one of the question I keep getting is how, like, what should I create videos about with TikTok? And what I've come up with is pretty much content calendar / matrix that helps save time and create like hundreds of ideas really quick. If anyone wants it, you can just try to reach out to me directly. My contact is going to be at the end, but it's really simple. It's just a spreadsheet with, on one row you'll get the topics, and the other row you'll get your models. So you can basically multiply the number of ideas and reach 200 ideas just working on this content matrix for like 30 minutes, brainstorming it with your team, with the guys around you. So it will give you an idea to create more content. I've been I've been working with a specific guy. He's doing like it was back in December, so not even a year ago. He told me, you know what, I want to approach this TikTok thing, and but I'm not sure like how. So we brainstormed a few things, and he's in the finance, so he's not doing like he's doing used cars, but he's not doing new cars. So he started just being really upfront and sharing not customer's name but situations. So example, he fires up his phone, says, you know what, I got a client today. He came in, he had this score, he had repo, or he had some financial troubles, and this is how I helped him get like a, I don't know, 10-point interest rate, like set up on his used cars. And people, he just started to go for stories like daily like this. Not even a week after he started doing it, he started like having comments and engagement, and he started replying with video with these. So that's all he's been doing since, and he's averaging 10 to 15 cars a month only from TikTok. And it was so much like leads, he had to build like a landing page and a mini CRM to like plug everything that has been coming into like TikTok. Just to let you know, it's not a guy with like 1 million followers. He has 3,500, but it's so niche, and he knows what he's talking about. So people are seeing him as the ultimate expert in this field, which has been very good for him. Yeah, just a quick recap about this. TikTok organic reach, take advantage. If you're a dealership and you want to push the message a little bit more, you can, or like you can push ads. It's a minimum of $20 a day, and you can do so with TikTok Spark, like I said. And here's the next 10 steps if you want to get going with TikTok. Whereas if you're a marketing manager right now, if you're a car salesperson, if you're a manager, like a dealer manager, this is pretty much the same function. This is all you got to do. And I suggest you download the app, sign up, start using your account, maybe observe, like get like in observation mode for 2 weeks, set a date, and just start posting. And the good news is, even if you're bad at first, nobody cares because you got no followers. And we're in an era that low production videos have more value than high production like videos. It's funny, like the guy was referring to, like for finance, he's not even like editing anything, he's not doing anything fancy. It's full of and he's struggling, but it's not
authentic.
polished, but it's authentic. And this is what this platform needs. And this is a great news, because don't go ahead, and I know you guys, don't go ahead and buy a like 100K studio to do TikToks. Don't do that, please. Just don't. Just buy buy whatever you want, but not that. You don't need it. So it's really just about like trying and testing things, consistency. And if you're a Gary V, follower, he's been pushing this for years now, and it's true. Do 3, 4, 5 videos a day, but it's short, and what you want to aim for 30 seconds. So really, when you find something that's worth sharing behind the scenes, a car, a feature you like, take the pick up the habit of picking up your phone, film everything you can, post it, get on with your life, basically. So I was talking about consistency. I just think it's the key, because when you do once in a while, it seems to slow down your growth. Whereas you can do, I did a crazy test with my personal account the other day. I did a video. I was at Costco, and I did a random video, and I started answering all single comment as they came in. I ended up doing like, I think 30 videos one day, but I gained 1,000 followers in 3 days in my market using like hashtags. Like I've never seen that before.
That's
and I'm not
ridiculous
like
growth. Yeah.
I know. And it was not like in like for within car dealerships and my potential clients. That was not a goal. I just wanted to see, what if I go all in and I do that, right? And I'm not, let's be honest, I'm not pretty, and I'm not the one that will draw like thousands of views just for the sake of it. I'm not checking anything or showing sin, and that's not the goal. But I just wanted to see what kind of reach I got. Like within that week span, I got 400,000 views, 10,000 likes. It's more than everything, like every single likes from my social media accounts still forever, yeah, combined, So just want to, don't be afraid to test out things and try to be about your customer engagement. This is the true hack. Like I said earlier, the when you reply with video, it's a dopamine hit. When people are watching this, the engagement is really higher because you see the question, but you're curious about what the creator or the business has to say about this question. And I had some DMs from people I've answered message to thanking me and saying I was really nice. When's the last time someone thanked you on social media because you shared something, right?
Imagine being a customer and getting a comment back directly from your dealership, and all of a sudden that's just building that loyalty to that dealership. That's invaluable.
It's not even fair. Like the guy I'm referring to, I always refer back to this because he's grinding it. He's doing it. He's not like, because most people, they're like, my hair don't look right today. I don't like my shirt. Whatever excuse, insert the following excuses. And it's always like the ones who are doing that. I get it. It's hard to do video. It's not comfortable, but you got to stop caring at some point, and then you just build a brand. And if you can keep it local, it's so easy. I can state it enough. Like I've seen leads coming in because obviously with these guys, I see what's happening. It's just, I never seen that. Like I've been in car sales for a bit. I've been in the industry. Like people are like coming in like, so what can you sell me? It's super powerful. So I know it's a lot, but I hope you guys, I've been, I'd like to have some questions. If you guys have anything for me, I'm available for that. So I'll let you take over, Alex. You're on mute.
Sure, thank you. So we do have a few questions. The first of which that I'm going to ask is it a bad idea to have one TikTok account for an entire group, perhaps many different rooftops?
Always depends how you want to brand it and eventually send traffic from. So TikTok has a limit. You need 1,000 followers to have a link in your profile. So if you do that, you can always, like, if you have the means to do a specific landing page and say, you know what, like maybe a splash page with all different, dealerships, or just go through a funnel that, that like maybe a quiz funnel that helps you identify who's your potential buyer. That might be a good idea. But, it's not a bad idea to maybe start for the group and then maybe see if some of your stores want to pick up and create one of their own. But I don't see any negative point about starting one for the groups, like as a foundation, if that makes sense. That's what I would do, at least. Yeah.
Another question here. Are there restrictions or on phrases that are offering like leases or anything like that, maybe financial, that might lead to like shadow banning or that kind of thing?
Like I'm gonna tell you something I've been using in every advertising, marketing, everything I've been doing. Like if the goal is to generate leads, you want to keep a specific part of the information or key information out of the picture, so people have a reason to reach out to you. That will increase the amount of leads and qualified leads you'll get, but also reduce your exposure to that kind of like that kind of thing. Because there's always, you can't be spending like, those fine prints and like ads and stuff you see for automotive. You can't be spending like 90% of your video just reading this. So I would try to be as vague as possible. And anyway, you want to keep away the most you can from really specific offers, interest rates. I would just keep it vague for all these reasons.
Okay, good answer. How frequently should we be posting on TikTok? Is once a day really enough? This is a question from Jane.
It depends how patient you are. If you are able to go for 5, 6, 10 times a day, do it as long as you can um keep the pace. If you, let's say you can do, I don't know, like start of the month, you're free, and you can do more, I suggest you create some and you schedule them, because more and more we can schedule things with TikTok. You can schedule videos with TikTok on PC. So I suggest you do that as well, so you're consistent versus posting like crazy, like I did with my Costco video, and not after, right? Because then your engagement rates like just drops. You want to be also like always um, posting new videos, new stuff, so people have a reason to follow. Because when people get to your account and see what you're about, if you've posted like 3 months ago, um, no matter how many times you did, it's going to make a difference if they subscribe or not.
Here's a specific question from Robbie. We had an ad account for TikTok. The commercial business side loses the audio sounds for trends. What do you recommend a dealer should do?
Yep. Like there's two types of accounts on TikTok. There's creator or business. So there's pros and cons to both. But if you want to go ahead and use sounds, I would keep away from anything that's trending, obviously, because your sounds will be just removed or banned. So there's a library of music you can use that's allowed, and that makes sense. It's not the, like, yeah, let's be honest, it's not the greatest music, but at least you can push your ads too. So you can always try to find, I know there's some people that are doing some copyright free music, let's say versions of songs or covers, which are not the originals, but you can still have it beat. You can do that as well. But honestly, for me, I've been just staying away from using music on these educational videos. It's not much of a value add versus the potential loss of opportunity for pushing these ads.
All right, just a
This
couple
answer
more
your
questions
question.
here.
Mhm.
Are reply videos being sent through DM?
Nope, they're posted on the For You page and your feed.
Okay,
But the person who asked the question gets the notification.
nice.
And when you go in your video, and every single comment you've replied with videos, all these videos are going to show up within that video thread, which is pretty cool too.
That is. Do you find funny TikToks do better than informative TikToks?
Uh, like it depends which outcome you're looking for. If you're doing 95% funny, let's say I'm gonna take an example in car sales. There's a guy named Tito. He has 1.5 million followers on TikTok, and he's selling cars, but he's never talking about anything related to offers or promos. But he's only like he's a comedian. Honestly, he's pretty good. um, I have no idea of what kind of reach and sales he's doing from this in terms of percentage, but you gotta be, I just think you gotta be wary of what's your style. So if you're really, really funny, please go ahead. But if it's forced and you're struggling being funny,
Right.
maybe it's better being educational, informative.
That's that whole being
It's a
authentic. You don't want to
short
come off
answer, but
disingenuous.
I
Yeah.
there's a lot to it, but I hope this guides you
Answer is
kind of.
if you're good at it. There.
Yeah, or
All right.
just like sprinkle it, maybe. Just
Mm,
not always that. You want to do a little bit about edutainment.
there you go. So we're gonna wrap it up here. We'll go ahead and take the remainder of these questions, and we'll conclude the Q&A in the email tomorrow. But just a reminder, this will be sent out as a recording for you tomorrow, and you can watch it all again and get, because there was a lot of information that we covered, a lot of good content, a lot of good tips and tricks that we covered. So it's definitely worth a rewatch or a share or something like that. But that'll be coming tomorrow. Once again, I wanted to thank you, Marc, so much for joining us today. Obviously, this ended up being a little bit longer, but there's just so much information, and so many examples that you brought forth today. So again, me from TradePending, thank you so much for joining us on our webinar and talking through.
Thank you, Alex, for having me, and thank you, TradePending, as well, and especially thanks to you guys who asked questions. Those who are trying to figure out how to do it with TikTok. So hope I could help with a few things today.
All right. Have a great day, everybody.
Thank you.